Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Free suckers! This is a robbery! It's not really a robbery. Hi, welcome to Stuff Sucks. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Jim.
I'm Jan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Dan.
And this week we're going to be discussing why crime pays.
Why crime pays?
It does pay, allegedly.
Apparently it does, but I've tried to think of things to talk about today. And I just would like you to explain to me why crime pays.
Crime does pay. Well, so many people...
If crime didn't pay, people wouldn't do it.
It's a good point.
In my experience, crime doesn't pay.
I mean, all I know with crime is like through Batman and The Wire, so that's like my intro to crime.
You've got it at both ends then.
Yeah,
that is crime.
Batman crime does not pay. I mean,
No.
Batman pays you in beatings and probably paralysis. It doesn't kill you, but damn it,
He'll break your spine.
Yeah, you'll be close to it. You'll be begging for death.
But then that is...
crime pays the medical bill.
I don't think they have that benefits structure in place.
Well, let's discuss a recent thing, the Hatton Garden robbery.
What's this?
That was cool crime.
A couple of weeks ago in Hatton Garden, London, there was a daring jewel raid.
And in this day and age when it's so easy to rob a bank over the internet, these fairly old guys did a classic hide and drill into a bank, steal a load of jewels.
Yeah.
Over a bank holiday weekend.
Yeah, the police got into trouble for either not responding to the alarm.
Yeah.
Or...
They ignored the alarm call, which went out the entire weekend, and just sacked it off. But there's basically because there's a fire going on.
And that's why crime pays.
But there's a fire going on, I think.
Down the road or something?
Yeah, down the road, which may or may not be linked to it, which set off a lot of alarms. So any alarm that went off in that area went down the priority list because more than likely it was caused as an after effect from that fire, which is quite smart of them if that was true.
The people who lost their stuff in the safety deposit boxes probably aren't getting their money back.
No, because they haven't been able...
unforeseen circumstance for the jewellers to...
Well, it's two things. It's like, yeah, it's completely out of the jurisdiction of the insurance, and they also don't declare what's actually in the safe deposit box, because that's the point of it, is something to be kept completely hidden, essentially. So there's no idea the actual value of the boxes, and especially because only 72 boxes were taken, and there are about 300 there.
It's an odd number, isn't it?
It's a very odd and specific amount. So
But maybe if it was just because they was old and they couldn't carry as many.
I don't know. I mean,
were they random, or was it number 1 to 72?
Interesting. Yeah.
That was random.
I don't know how old they are, but in my mind they're all at least 80, and it's like Dad's Army rob a bank.
Come on, get the drill down, gaffer!
That's the image that the media is giving me on this one. But also, I wouldn't necessarily say that crime pays because they've caught them.
Have they?
They've caught 11 of them.
There took more than 11 of them.
Yeah, and there weren't that many people on the CCTV, so there must
7,
be other buggers.
That seems like a lot of people to bring in on a heist.
Well, 7 people or 11 people have been arrested in connection with it.
Yeah.
If I
But
know
that could just be
anything
7 random old men who just being fitted up.
If I know anything from Grand Theft Auto, you want fewer people on the heist so that you have to cut less people in and keep the lion's share for yourself.
Or the beginning of the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Pop them off as you go along.
Yeah.
Good heist. To explain what actually happened, there was, I think they broke in upstairs from a shop or flat or something next door. Then Jimmy'd opened the lift shaft, went down there, opened some mad ass security gates, and brought in a giant bore drill, which is about a football wide, drilled 3 big holes enough so they could squeeze through, and then just pushed as much of the merchandise out through that as they could.
Yeah, it's just big enough for a human body to get through, which was quite impressive. And it is all done with military precision near enough.
It was very pro.
Well, maybe they'll give these guys jobs and send them on Black Ops missions. Maybe that's it. We like your moxie.
Is that when crime pays?
That's when crime pays. When you do a crime so well, like all them hackers and stuff, where you do a crime so well that the government turns around and goes, "You're actually much better at this than we are. So can we pay you to make sure no other fucker does this to us again?"
The guy in the film with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks, Catch Me If You Can, crime
Abagnale
paid for him, didn't it? I know he had a bit of a traumatic time, but he didn't get away with it. He paid his penance in a different way, and he's now paid for it.
By the CIA.
Yeah,
who he
well,
works
by a
for.
lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, his consultant.
And another Leonardo DiCaprio vehicle, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh.
Crime paid there because his trading was most illegal.
Well, that brings us on to...
He did get arrested, but he still made a bit of career.
If we want to continue
afterwards.
down this line, he was in jail with Tommy Chong. It could be argued for Tommy Chong that crime paid because he made a career out of smoking weed.
Criminal activity.
Yeah.
Had a second renaissance to his career.
Howard Marks as well. He's made a career out of doing illegal things.
Massively. Wasn't he a proper drug smuggler?
He was.
He's the first man to have been arrested by America for dealing drugs on non-American soil with no contact with America involved at all.
And spent quite a few years in American jail. About 7 years.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, spent quite
the
a long
documentary
time.
on him is amazing.
Mr.
Not documentary, yeah. You know the biography.
Mr. Nice.
Mr. Nice. Yeah, it's really good. Very up and down, as was his life. As is his life.
But again, crime paid for him till his clogs popped.
He
Yeah,
did.
he's still alive.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's still going.
He's got cancer, but he's still alive.
Oh, damn, I thought he died last year. Cool.
He does breakfasts at festivals. I think that's what he's doing these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw him in Glastonbury a couple of years ago, and he maybe should have gone by now.
Oh, I met him. I thought,
Sad
I met him a few
face.
years ago at Leeds Festival.
Yeah.
Because we were in the dance tent and just chilling out. We looked over and just saw this old guy looking really out of place. And like me and Leon were like, I don't recognise him. It's just not right, a random old guy being there. It's fucking Howard Marks. Leon, roll a spliff right now. So we set to making the biggest spliff we could with what we had at hand. And when everyone said, like, Mr. Marks, want to smoke the spliff with me? He was like, alright. I was like, yes.
He's Welsh, isn't he?
Yeah. That wasn't a Welsh accent.
It's all about
Welshie. Welshie. Yeah, crime pays for people who do fiscal crime, like
big crime.
like fraudulent dealings.
Those
London bankers, for example.
They've just been jacking exchange rates again, haven't they?
Yeah.
HSBC, Barclays constantly, and was it 5 banks got fined £3.6 billion?
That's not. It's not doing a good job if they're still doing it, though, is it?
No.
They make more than that.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
pocket change.
Yeah.
It doesn't even cover bonuses.
No, that's unbelievable.
Can you imagine if you were doing something absolutely horrific and the government were just like, oh well, you're going to give us 1/10 of your next paycheck, like, so rape more grandmothers then?
Yeah.
That would be a terrible deal. A terrible crime prevention measure.
But that's the thing. That's what they're doing with the banks, isn't it?
So
Crime pays for them.
crime pays if you wear a suit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that's it. Maybe that's the crux of what defines crime. I mean, like,
Raping grandmas is pretty high in the
Most-
crime stake.
most places.
Definitely on the list of crime in my book.
Is crime like?
And I'm
just
glad it's
specific?
not punished by a fine of 10% of your next paycheck. I don't know what my grandma would do.
Would she get the money? This is macabre.
I don't think we should carry on down this route anymore. I'm sorry, Nan.
But yeah, is crime?
You're sick. You're thinking of your own grandmother.
Well, out of all the grandmothers in the world, she's the one I want to get raped the least. I know it's selfish,
Oh,
but
no, that's okay. I understand your point.
We should make a list.
yeah. No, well, I don't think so. I agreed on instinct, and now I'd really rather not talk about it anymore.
Crime. What is crime? Is it like against?
crime?
Well, is it a higher moral thing, or is it against the specific laws?
I think it's different as well when crime affects an individual than when crime is against some kind of ineffable state or
Society.
Yeah, I mean, stealing a traffic cone. That,
Technically a crime.
yeah, but is it the same crime as defrauding a person, signing over someone's welfare checks and stuff like that.
But by the same measure, you wouldn't go around and say, everyone fucking rob a traffic cone, it's great.
People
it's
do that.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But if everyone did it, then,
Yeah.
we'd run out of traffic cones.
Anarchy on the roads.
It would be. It would.
So, maybe the solution to the problem is crime in moderation. It's good for society.
Seems to be. I mean, like, look at, say, not to burn any bridges here, wink, but Hollywood. Like, everybody knows Hollywood is crooked as fuck, and that a lot of things are actually kind of funded by people who are sort of gangsters.
Oh, there goes our contract.
Yeah.
Ruined it for everybody, Jim.
That big deal we were about to sign, that's going to fall through now.
Oh, I've already bought a studio apartment in Hollywood.
Shit. I bought a convertible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Convertible what?
Bed. Turns into another bed, but a different shape.
Okay.
A sofa bed.
No, I couldn't afford a sofa bed. Not this deal we worked out. But yeah, I mean, like, the entertainment industry in general, I mean, music has always been heavily linked to crime. Like, yeah.
Crime Warner.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, like, look at old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra. Allegedly, he sort of was kind of a member of the mob.
Yeah.
Elvis had a lot of mob buddies.
Yeah.
But he seems too nice to have been in the mob himself.
He fought for his country. Leave him alone.
He had karate powers, though.
He did.
Unregulated use of those would be crime.
Look out, man! Look at that, they're coming at you. You see that? It's called karate, man, and only two kinds of people know it. The Chinese and the king.
So yeah, in a lot of ways crime has been good for society.
Sort of.
What about crime that everybody does? Is that considered still a crime?
Seems like everyone avoids tax.
Speeding? Well, no, it's not, a lot of people don't avoid tax. A lot of people do and get away with it, and a lot of people do and get
Well,
put
tax
in
avoidance
Yeah.
isn't a crime.
Tax evasion.
is a crime.
Avoidance.
Like speeding, everybody speeds at some point, whether
Seems like
intentionally or
I
just
drove
as a
to
rule.
Cornwall last week, and you just have to go on any motorway to see that the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit is just not in effect.
Yeah, and you see police just driving around at 40. Like so many times I've been to Manchester and back, and there's been a police car behind me or a couple in front and stuff, and they're just part of the traffic flow going 40 on 30 roads.
I was driving 110 and he was keeping up with me.
I actually got pulled over doing 111 once.
Oh shit.
He did keep up with me. He more than kept up with me. I was in a Vauxhall Astra and he was in an MG, an unmarked MG.
Nice.
Sports, like proper sports car. It was cool.
Did the lights start flashing through the front of the grill?
No, he
that.
just flashed me and indicated left, even though I was in the first lane until I pulled over.
Did at any point the car speak?
No, it didn't. It wasn't Kit. Just conditions people to be like, no one's innocent, isn't it?
Bit Judge Dreddy.
Yeah,
Well, that's
everyone's
changed
committed.
now.
Oh.
I mean, with the scrapping of the human rights bill,
Allegedly.
maybe
and then
scrapping.
bringing in of the Snoopers Charter.
Illustrate
it
this a little
actually-
bit,
It actually
because
came out.
Most people probably won't know about this.
Well, basically, Britain's turning into beyond the police state. They're scrapping the Human Rights Bill, or the European Human Rights Bill, which makes any human rights contrivances
Malleable.
a lot harder to actually argue, because usually you can just go straight through the European courts, but now it just adds further steps to actually be able to do that. And they're also bringing in what's known as the Snoopers Charter, which was successfully repealed by the Liberal Democrats in the previous government, which is one of the great things that they actually managed to achieve.
What does the Snoopers Charter involve?
Basically, it means that the government can look at any communication made by anybody,
Like they're not doing
Basically.
it already.
but more legally.
Now they just don't have to explain it
now
afterwards.
and like near enough a statement like what by I think Cameron was like being innocent is not enough. Abiding the law is not enough to not be investigated. And it's just scary, the fact that they're being so open about how much they will be looking into your shit, and even being a complete innocent person is not enough to not. It just throws out the notion of innocence or proven guilty.
Well,
Because, like you said, people do break laws every day.
yeah. And breaking the law is a good way to show that you don't approve of it as well. And obviously, the more extreme that is, the more most people won't appreciate with it. Crime mentioned before on grandmothers, it's not something we should do to suggest to make that legal. But things like recreational drug use, curfews in places that enact curfews, it's an act of rebellion to break that what you see as silly rule.
The right to assembly.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought crime.
It is, isn't it?
It's
It's one step before thought crime, but it's very close, isn't it? It's because me and you. Obviously we're being recorded here and shown to millions of people.
Hey, Dad.
But, yeah, this isn't how we normally speak with the camera in the room, except on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But
Some Wednesdays.
yeah, and some Mondays. But when you're just in a pub and you're having a chat with your mate, or in your house, or in their shack, just having a chat, that's when you should be allowed to talk about stuff. But doing that over an email is kind of the same thing, isn't it?
It's like those kids who keep getting arrested now. If I was to say to you, "Oh, let's go bomb an airport,"
Yeah, exactly.
We know we're being idiots, but if someone sends that over Facebook, people are getting sent to jail for 8 years.
Yeah,
for,
inciting it and planning it for talking about it. They walk up to a policeman and say, "You're a fucking knobhead," and go to walk away. And I'd like to think at least half of them would just be like, "Well, that guy's just nuts. Nothing's happening. Leave it to it," or just go, "Oi, son, learn some respect." Half of them might do something about it, but under most circumstances, if that's all you say, you're not going to end up in front of a judge. But you could say "fuck that policeman" on Facebook and end up in prison.
That is bollocks. If I went up to if I went up to a policeman and said something like that and flipped him off, and it'd be 50-50 whether it'd be like,
"You piggy,
don't do that," or he hit me over the head with a
Yeah.
baton. And either would be like, well, I kind of asked for that, really.
Yeah.
He's just a person. I just sort of went and started on him.
it is
That's
a
bollocks.
crime. It is assaulting a
It's a
police
crime.
officer.
Verbally assaulting. That's an assault.
Assault is non-physical. Assault is any word or gesture that causes another party to fear for their safety.
So assault with a deadly weapon is a gun that shouts abuse at policemen.
Well, assault with a deadly weapon is when you physically attack someone with a deadly weapon.
What I'm saying is, I think that's kind of fair enough. And in
Because
some ways, the
without
police
the
get a
devil.
bad rap, but there's bad police people as well. Crime is rife in the police.
Oh, unfortunately so. Maybe it's like a hospital, when doctors get sick quite often because they hang around in hospital. Maybe policemen get criminally through crime osmosis.
Crime pays for policemen, are you saying?
Crime does pay for policemen. Because if
Crime
there wasn't
literally
crime-
pays for policemen if you think about it.
Yeah.
Without crime, we wouldn't pay for policemen.
Wouldn't need them.
So crime does... Well, there we go. We can cut this
Let's
episode short because crime
abolish the
does pay
police.
for something. The police.
If we abolish the police, we won't need crime to fund it anymore.
Just get rid of crime too.
Just get rid of crime too. So we starve it out.
We're going to smoke this badger out. Yeah. That sounds sensible.
Yeah, sorted.
Side. Right. Okay, let's do that.
Well, apparently we are doing that to the police at the moment, just drastically cutting funding, so maybe this will be a counter effect. And they do say crime is down, and the police should stop crying wolf for not having enough money to fight crime.
I think that's lies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That sounds like massive lies.
What, which bit?
The fact that crime is actually down. See,
Yeah, they say that crime's down, but if you've got less people to record the crime, does that not affect the statistics?
if the government posit that they actually fiddled the figures so it looked like crime is down, is that technically a crime? Considering the government's done it and what the government does is the law.
Well, the government itself is held accountable to certain crimes.
Are they?
No.
Well, they should be.
They should be,
yes.
but they're not.
If they get caught for stuff, they usually throw somebody under a bus and then
Well,
everyone
there's
goes
just corruption charges.
Corruption's crime.
Yeah, corruption, certainly.
Cash for questions.
But that's doing something that only benefits you, and usually when
Yeah, I see.
you're already in disfavour with the government. Few people have been at the top and then been done for corruption who've later on they're usually found out, aren't they?
Do you mean say Prime Minister or the Cabinet?
Yeah.
War crimes.
Well, Tony Blair's still touring the world, charging hundreds of thousands of pounds a day to give speeches to people, and being bounced by British armed forces who are paid for by the British taxpayer to go around with Tony Blair.
And Blackwater, probably. They got a lot of interests. Blackwater being the mercenary. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And they get a lot of contracts from
I thought they were called something else now because the guy who started them left and he kept the name and he used it to make a really ill-toned and ill-advised computer game.
So they changed their name to Corporate Synergy. Something like
Something
that.
nice and friendly.
Yeah.
Did he make a computer game about what Blackwater did?
Yeah, it's like a shady Black Ops private military simulator.
Surprising.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going?
I've had enough. That's it. I'm going to go commit a crime. Be back when I've done a crime.
I wonder what crime he's going to commit.
My money's on urinary vandalism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's
how
good. I don't think he'd go for something like common shoplifting.
Shoplifter commoner.
Yeah. What else might he do? A fray?
Indecent exposure is just the one he's going to go for.
That's a given, really.
He's already. You can already see far too much flesh.
He is most indecent and he is exposed.
Oh, he's coming back now.
I think he's just come through the pen.
We'll be able to find out what crime he committed. What crime did you commit?
I assassinated someone.
Well, what?
We didn't guess that at all.
So, we went for, like, indecent exposure and possibly some kind of urinary vandalism.
I did think about going next door and peeing to the letterbox, but instead I assassinated the head of a large multinational corporation based out of Taiwan.
Oh. They're quite...
Just his head.
There's quite a gulf between those two crimes.
We was passing.
Right.
How did you know?
Well, I just recognised him.
Oh, from your business deal.
Which corporation?
Goan.
Go on. Is this go on?
That's their advert, yeah.
It's
Go on.
more like Mrs. Doyle.
They just sell tea and cake.
Why did you assassinate him?
Well, it's kind of, there's been an open contract on his life because there's like another sort of major biscuit corporation in Taiwan that is desperate for like a foothold in the market. So I took out this fellow, and I should be getting the big bucks now.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
You get paid after you kill him. That's ballsy.
Did you get any evidence?
Has anyone paid you to assassinate this guy? Because if not, you just murdered someone.
It was an open contract. I collected a blood sample, but I suppose that's not really proof of death, is it?
Are you sure it was the right guy?
Oh, yeah.
What
Did you not just murder a Taiwanese man outside the house?
Oh, no. I've been studying
What did you do
the
with the
file
body?
for a while.
The body?
Body?
Yeah, what did you do with it?
Fuck, I've just left it out front.
Did you get the orphan to clean it?
Oh, God, yeah. I should sense... Wait, we'll sort that out in a bit.
He'll strip it for parts.
That kind of crime happens.
It's not a Honda Civic.
No, but good pair of eyes. You didn't do anything to his eyes, did you?
I stared into them as he died.
So we know that they're working. We'll get some cash for that.
Well, he'd also killed my granddad.
He killed your granddad?
Yeah, it's this huge sort of like mob war thing they got drawn into. There was like...
They got drawn into a mob war and as a result killed your granddad, which kind of ascertains that your granddad was already involved in the mob war.
It was sort of on purpose. It was a biplane full of napalm that was being flown remotely. Okay. And he flew it into my granddad to...
Just directly into your granddad?
No, my granddad was manning a sort of antenna station.
Okay.
Yeah.
With it on top of the antenna.
He was perched right at the top with a colourful umbrella.
And you're sure it was this guy from Goan?
I'm like 95% sure.
He killed your granddad?
Yeah.
So it wasn't even about the money?
It wasn't really, I suppose.
So he killed your granddad and then you went looking for people to pay you to kill him?
Oh no, it's just a massive coincidence. I've killed so many people.
Cool.
Okay.
Has it paid?
It has. Well, then again, I've just admitted everything. But...
It might not have paid financially yet, but having avenged your grandfather's untimely passing at the hands of a napalm plane, you have gained some form of spiritual payment.
Well, that's something to consider, isn't it? Because does payment always have to be monetary?
Thomas Crown affair. He didn't do it because he wanted money. He stole those paintings for the kicks.
And every Ocean's 11?
Dude.
Walter White, he didn't do it because he wanted all the money. He did it because he was good at it and he really enjoyed being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
Wasn't about the money. It was kind of about the money. Spoiler alert. Breaking Bad. Yeah.
It was kind of about the money.
Yeah, but mainly about how fun it is to be a bad guy.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
The one living in the White House.
Osama bin Laden? What? Barack Obama's a gangster?
No, it's the next line of that song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn, son. Well, yeah. Could be argued that a lot of presidents have been slightly iffy.
JFK.
Certainly.
Roosevelt was allegedly totally in bed with the military-industrial complex, and part of the reason they went to war was to make a bed load of bucks.
There's that Richard Nixon fella.
He was a bit crook.
He
He
was
was
tricky
a bit
dicky.
crook.
Tricky dicky.
4 more years. But he got his. Wait a minute, he did get, like, kicked out, right?
He was impeached, yeah. He was
Yeah.
never charged.
Yeah.
He was pardoned.
I think he left before he got impeached. He
Oh.
was like, oh shit, I'm going to get impeached. So
He had a bit of a cry, didn't he?
yeah, he just had a little press conference. Was like, fuck this noise, I'm out of here. Got on a helicopter and fucks off.
Dropped the mic.
Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
I can't remember the guy's name. There's just some American, like, general behind Richard Nixon's, allied with Richard Nixon.
Right.
Sold weapons of war to anti-American bodies in order to facilitate gaining money. And he took the fall instead of Nixon, and is now on Fox News.
Wow.
Look at the Bush family. Allegedly, Grandpappy Bush, like, I think Elder George's granddad sold munitions to the Nazis before they got involved in the war proper.
It's quite a good way, though, to make money for your department. You can go, look, we can prove these guys are a threat because we armed them and we know exactly what they've got
Look
and
at
we
the
know what we
receipt.
need to stop them.
Like we did with Iraq.
Yeah.
We
Looked at
know
the
it's...
receipt and was like, oh, okay then.
Shit, we sold them a super gun. Shouldn't have done that.
got a
Absolutely
mega gun.
sure that they've got weapons of mass destruction because we gave them to them. And we know they've got to be around here somewhere.
But then it turns out they didn't have weapons of mass destruction, or did they?
Well, they got the information from a taxi driver's conversation with someone, didn't they?
That's where it came from.
That was where the fact that the 9 minutes warning came from.
Taxi.
From the film Taxi.
The French one or the American one?
The
Queen Latifah
Yeah,
one.
American one.
I take all my life advice from Queen Latifah.
Advice.
Isn't she
My
dead?
life. She's not dead, no?
Who am I thinking of?
Whitney Houston?
Elliot.
Queen something.
Queen Victoria.
Yeah, she's dead, isn't she? Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Queen Mary. Queen Elizabeth I.
Queen Mary's not dead.
The Queen Mother.
The old Queen Mary.
She
Queen
is.
Mary Tudor.
No, it's still there.
She's still there.
Okay.
Mary Queen of Scots.
And I think she's still going as well.
I'm fairly confident she's executed.
Queen of Sheba?
Someone was.
The cat food.
Yes. Queen of all cat food.
I forgot where we were. I think we're just naming dead queens.
Crime and
Queen,
pain.
definitely dead. Well, no. In name. Freddie Mercury's dead.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
No.
yeah,
he
Fred.
died.
I thought they made him into a hologram like Arnold Rimmer.
What,
And
he's
they
come
did a
back?
concert. Isn't that the technology we're using these days?
I think that's a crime.
Freddie Mercury came back as a hologram.
He was an alright hologram. There's the 2-pack hologram that blew everyone away. And what, they're going to make, like, 2-packs hologram?
Tupac would never do that to an audience.
Yeah, he would. Straight up rolling G. Like, Tupac is now kind of like... People being dead now isn't the end of things.
Being dead isn't the barrier it used to be.
Yeah, that's it, man. There's so much crime going on. And the world essentially runs on crime. And I have this theory that Britain is the most crimey nation on earth.
Why? We spent too far into this episode to get talking on such a big topic as why England is the most crimey nation.
I just feel like we totally run on crime. We're very swindly. Look at what we did with, like, all the colonies. We basically turned up and went, have some of these lovely rare beads. Can we have your entire country?
We have a
That's
flag.
why our greatest cultural output is only fools and horses.
Well, I wouldn't argue against that, yeah. But I know everything in Britain seems to run in a crimey kind of way. I think cracking down on crime is the worst possible thing you could do to Britain. Because it's a major...
If anything, we're not crimey enough.
Crime should be made to pay better so that We have more crime.
I don't mind kind of moral. It's like, you don't mind nice mobsters, but it's the ones that go around murdering people.
Okay, so in summary for today's episode, what we've discovered is we want less police, more crime, so that eventually we get less crime, and that crime doesn't pay so much.
I think what's going to happen, it's all going to turn around, we're going to have liege lords again. Warlords are going to build up in Britain, and then eventually they'll become like a new royalty, and then, you know, eventually that royalty will collapse and democracy will come out and crime will go that way, and it's just going to be an ever-rolling circle of...
I fly my banners for House Tesco.
Who would I fly for? I'd fly for your sushi, but it'd be a very, very small house compared to Tesco's.
Tesco will be a major house.
Why did you pick Tesco?
Just because they were really big.
So you sold out.
Yeah,
Cool.
sold out.
Oh no, fuck that, I'm going to fly for House Deloitte. Deloitte Financial Institutions. They'll be big come the revolution. They've probably got a private army and shit. I've said too much.
Oh, well, it was lovely having you here today while we discussed in great detail and in great seriousness the impact crime is having on our society and the steps that we're all going to take to move through this terrible period in our lives and come out the other side.
And I think the moral of the story is, if you're going to be a criminal, crime big.
Yeah.
Wear a suit. People in suits get away with
Yeah,
crime.
it's white collar crime.
It's the way forward.
Yeah, more crime, less police. That's today's message. That's what I've gained from it anyway.
Yeah, wear a suit.
Yeah.
You scruffy heathens.
It's just a fantastic tagline for a political movement, isn't it? It's less crime, there's less police, so more crime, so eventually less crime.
Yeah, that's the way we're going here.
It'll work itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've got any ideas on how to tackle the crime amongst us today, or even the police amongst us today, then you can get in touch at thingswelike@thepeoplesbeard.co.uk.
Or go and have a look at our Twitter, which is Twitter @_things_we_like, and things has a capital T.
It does. Well done.
Thanks, man. And we're also on Apple Tunes.
You did so well this week.
No. We're on iTunes and YouTube and Archive thing. If you don't know the Archive thing, you'll never find it. But if you know what it is already, then you're solid. Join us again next week when we're going to solve some more... Actually, next week is Things We Like.
Next week is Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Specifically, crazy-ass fan theories that may or may not be
I
correct.
may have to phone in for that one.
So
Skype
instead of waiting until next week when we say if you're not up to date with loads of Game of Thrones, then don't listen because we're going to tell you what happens. This week, spend all your time reading up on Game of Thrones so that you're ready for next week's episode.
Yeah, because it's going to be spoiler heavy. It's going to ruin your life.
But it's not going to go any further than where we are in the TV show, is it?
We'll be very careful.
We might be. It'll be fun.
That's fine, I've not read the books.
Well, that's why it'd be good to have you here, because it'll keep us, from saying too much.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It won't stop us.
No, but it'll have some effect.
So, like and subscribe and
Increasing.
do all awesome things. Buy our t-shirts.
Yeah, buy our t-shirt.
Buy our t-shirts.
You
Let's
can buy
make some
my
t-shirts.
Yeah, we're knocking them out.
I shall.
It's good to have you back with us, Dan.
Oh my god, it's the cops! Quickly! Bye!